Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we're making a Cowgirl fairy doll. This is another fairy doll I've had a lot of requests for, and so I was really excited to finally sit down and play around and put this doll together. I love how she turned out, and so thank you to all of the people that requested this doll and for the great idea, and let's grab some supplies and get started. Now the first thing you're going to need is a fairy doll. If you've never made fairies with me before, you'll want to check out my basic fairy doll making tutorial. And in that, I teach you how to take a wooden bead, some floral wire, and some embroidery floss and twist it into this cute little doll. Then I went ahead and gave this doll a braided pigtail hairstyle. I also have a video for that, so I will put the links for the basic fairy doll tutorial and the pigtails below in the comments, and you'll find all of the instructions you need for both of those things in those tutorials. The next thing you're going to need is our flowers. So I picked out some blue flowers, different types of flowers. I wasn't quite sure at this point what I was going to do with the doll, but I knew I wanted kind of a denim-y blue. And then I had a whole bunch of cream colored flowers that were left over from other projects that I grabbed. And then I found this flower that has these really cool petals that almost look like burlap, and I loved the texture in those, so we'll be using that. I have some thread to match the blue in the flowers, some for her boots, and then a little pop of red. And then every cowgirl needs a hat, so I found these darling little hats at Hobby Lobby in the doll making section. It was $2.99 for a 4-pack of them, and they came in brown and black, and I thought these were just perfect for our little cowgirl fairy. And then I have some fun ribbon that we're going to be embellishing our doll with. My glue gun set on low because it makes things so much easier when you're making your doll, and a sharp pair of scissors. The first thing we're going to do is to dress our doll. So I'm going to take the blue and I'm going to give her some short sleeves and a pair of shorts. You'll find more detailed step-by-step instructions on how to dress your doll in that basic fairy doll tutorial. But you can see here she's just got short sleeves and some shorts. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take the red and I'm going to wrap some around her waist to give her a belt. Then I'm going to put a tiny bit of red at the ends of her sleeves for just a little pop of color right there. And then the last thing we need to do to dress our doll is to give her some boots. So I'm going to take this brown and I'm going to wrap it up about 1 inch to give her a pair of cowboy boots. And the next step is to pull apart all of our flowers and then start layering the petals together to decide what you want her dress to look like. Now I knew that I didn't want a really long flowy dress for my cowgirl, so I just started taking some of the smaller petals and layering them together and holding them up to my doll until I got the look and feel that I wanted for her dress. And this does take a while. I do play around with it quite a bit, trying to figure out what I want her skirt to look like. And as soon as I have that figured out, I take my flower petals and I'm going to cut an X into the middle of all the petals. So I line the holes up, fold it in half, and then I cut just a little X in the center so I can slide the petals up and around her waist. And then you're going to start putting her skirt on. So you start with the smallest petals and just slide them up and around her waist. Sometimes as I'm doing this step, I might decide that I don't like some of the petals I've picked. Now's the best time to decide that before you glue them all together, but I'll stop and kind of hold her up, and if I feel like she needs a few more petals or if I don't like the feel of it, then I'll take some of them out. And now at this point, we're going to grab our glue gun and we're just going to add tiny dabs of glue in the front and in the back. I start at the top, and I just kind of tack those together with the small dabs of glue. And once her dress is all glued together, we're going to grab our ribbon and we're going to embellish the back of her dress. So for this part, I just took 2 pieces of ribbon and a few inches long, and then I just tied a knot right in the middle. This ribbon is too wide to tie a bow for the back of our fairy's dress, and so by tying a knot, you kind of get that same feel. Then go ahead and trim the ends of the ribbon, and we're going to attach this to the back of her dress. So I took a dab of glue right in the back, right by the red where her belt is or sash. And this I loved how the red thread mixed with the ribbon looks like a continuation of the red around her waist. And then the final touch is her hat. I love these little hats. They worked so well for this doll. You have a couple different options here. If you want to be able to take the hat on and off, I wouldn't glue it down. If you don't want it to move around at all, I would grab your glue gun and put some glue inside the hat and then put it on her head so it doesn't move. And that's it, guys. You're all set. You have a Cowgirl fairy doll. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your support. If you have any comments or questions, post those below. If there are fairy doll tutorials you'd like to see, post those below. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you wanted to click on that little bell icon, you'll be one of the first to know when I post a video. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. And as always, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your comments and your kind words and your support. And we'll see you next time. Bye.